Well, I know it's been a while. I've had a lot going on, and I'm sorry to disappoint you guys, but I decided to come back from the bowels of my gaming and from the bowels of Ryoko to really discuss a problem. And is it just me, or are the games we're playing today, how can I say it, too mainstream? I mean, come on, no offense to people that like mainstream games. Hell, most of my games are mainstream. Let me preface this by saying that I am a child of the 80s. In the 80s, you got a lot of your new game news from word of mouth, or just because you dropped by a video game store and you saw something that caught your eye. You didn't really have all these media sites to go on. Now, this video is more of a rant in defense of games like Record of Ages War. Now, yes, I'm going to be doing a proper review this week for Record, so keep your eyes out on that. But Record of Ages War is a campy, somewhat sexualized, somewhat anime-ish RPG that, unless you're really obscure and you go for games like this, most of my YouTube viewing audience may not know a thing or two about it. Why do I rant about underappreciated games? Well, it was mainly because of a conversation I had with two of my friends on Xbox Live. Ninja Goku, who we are back in some kind of pseudo-business partnership. I don't know how to describe it to you people. And my other friend, Dragon of Lyoko. Yes, I literally convinced a guy to add Lyoko to his gamer tag. Go figure. We were having a discussion about how games like Call of Duty seem to drop nuclear bomb after nuclear bomb on the supposed weak links of the video game industry, and how Call of Duty is now this towering John Cena-like monolith of domination, the likes of which cannot be stopped. And no, do not blame the 10-year-olds that play Call of Duty obsessively, or the fact that Activision has found the perfect formula to release a yearly game. No. Blame the fact that whenever it comes to finding a new game to opine, we seem to not want to do it. Case in point, my friend Ninja Goku's pick for an underrated competitor to that of Call of Duty, Crysis 2. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the Crysis 2 take. After all it is good graphically. The gameplay is not solid, the character itself is slow, and the open world idea is not really executed to the thought of, I want to keep playing this. And plus, the story is so mundane that it would drive somebody crazy. After all, I only had it for about a week, and I've seen all that I could see when I rented it originally. But a lot of you Call of Duty haters in the world, and you know you are, piggyback games like Battlefield 3 that is the worst equivalent of video game turd shit since the birth of SpongeBob SquarePants. I've never seen a show so I've never seen a game so overhyped and so under-delivered that it made me feel like I went to Olive Garden and got an undercooked steak. Come on. I want my steaks medium rare, not filled with the promise that my taste buds will water, only to see that it's a budget steak that I could have bought at a Kroger grocery store and probably cooked over the microwave. Come on, I could probably do an entire video on how bad Battlefield 3 sucks as compared to the competition. But that's another Code America edition for another day separately. But it stands to reason. Battlefield 3 has sold 10 million copies. Ask yourself, my fellow Leogians, how many of those 10 million copies were because Battlefield 3 was a good game to them, and how many were because it's not Call of Duty? I'm willing to bet it was somewhere 55-45 for the latter, not the former. And every year around this time, or around November, we seem to try to find the next able-bodied competitor to try to take down the monolith that is COD. But much like Record of Ages War, we can't seem to find it. Why? Not because there aren't any steady competitors out there that can compete. It's that, let's be honest, we don't look. So because we don't truly look, we try to hand the torch to games like Halo that are not even in its subdivision. Halo is a science fiction first-person shooter, not a military shooter. And oh yeah, there are games like it, like Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon, but the reason why they don't compete is because, well, they're in third person. A true competitor to the Call of Duty throne cannot be found just on military-based shooters alone. You have to find a truly superior shooter. Something that goes beyond anybody's expectations. The unfortunate thing is video game companies have not had the balls, and I mean it, balls, to show up and make a better game. In fact, if you look at the majority of first-person shooters today, and believe me, take a big long look, a lot of them copy Call of Duty's physiology, controls, or multiplayer system. In other words, there hasn't been a truly unique first-person shooter of any kind since, well, Call of Duty 4. And that's the worst part of it. Call of Duty, with the subsequent and upcoming release of Black Ops 2, seems to be innovating in every division that is seemingly possible, from bringing in the esports pro player scene to changing its matchmaking system, its perks, its whole kit and caboodle. And yet we all know that when Halo 4 comes out, it's just going to be like Taz used to say back in ECW. It's just going to be another victim to the Call of Duty machine that seemingly cannot be stopped. Not because gamers won't allow it to be stopped, it's because video game companies won't develop the game that will do it. What does this have to do with Record of Ages War? Well, it's just about the same thing. Trying to find a game that's original, unique, and somewhat quirky can be like finding needles in a haystack. Record of Ages War is one of those games. Bayonetta is another. How would I know this? I play them, and I have the gamer score to show for it. So instead of trying to go for those AAA titles that you know are going to be there. At the end of the day, do your GameFly Q a service and go for the more obscure. You might find the competition that you've been seeking and the originality, which, by the way, originality isn't going to be based in modern gaming on whether it's an original idea. It's going to be based on interpretation. If you use this as your guideline to find original new ideas, what you'll find is there's a gold mine out there. So before you pick up your next copy or your 100th copy of Call of Duty, try looking at it interpretively for not what it does originally, but what it does different. Because God knows everything's been done, and nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, including this video itself, is original. I'm Lyoko Lion. May Lyoko be with you.